I'm joined at this hour by Soumi De Sarkar. I'll also be joined by cricket blogger Rishi Chhabra and SRH fan Isha Waka. Well, let's first talk about the match that happened last night, that was between Chennai and Hyderabad. Somewhere along the line, Isha, do you feel that Hyderabad is losing the kind of momentum that they had in the first half of the season?
Definitely. We had back-to-back 4 wins, and now we are on a losing streak. Not so good to lose matches at this point in the tournament. But if you see, there are 5 teams struggling for the third and fourth spot. So at this point, we really can't say if we are in or out of the tournament until we get back on a winning momentum. So yes, I think we can bounce back in the next matches.
Rishi, talk to us a little bit about Ruturaj Gaikwad. As a captain, maybe he had begun slowly, but the way he has glided into that role, the big shoes of MS Dhoni, which I wouldn't claim that he has filled, but you know, the last two knocks where it seemed like he's been leading from the front.
Absolutely, Rika. I think, the way he's come back into this tournament as a batter, as a pure batsman, I think has been brilliant. Second leading run scorer right behind Virat Kohli. And two great knocks. I mean, the last game that we played against Lucknow, we ended up losing. He scored a century. But still, I mean, the kind of performance that he's putting up top of the order, that gives confidence to the lower middle order batsmen as well. But talking about captaincy, I think, he still has a long way to go. But he's getting there. I mean, his captaincy is uh, good. He's actually very calm, very similar to what MS Dhoni is on the field. So having him around, having MS Dhoni around is always a calming factor. But overall, very very happy with the performance last night. I think beating Hyderabad with a margin of approx 100 runs is excellent. I think
It's
it
almost
it
like a
speaks
test match
volume.
win.
Actually, I mean, with the kind of performances that we've seen this season in IPL, I think it's very rare that a team winning by almost 100 runs. So very happy with the way we, defended that total last night.
Rishi, let's get a comment from the two ladies on what you just said, that he is inching towards, Ruturaj is inching towards becoming MS Dhoni. What do you think about it, Soumi?
I think pretty much aligned to what Rishi is saying. I think the calmness that he's showing on the field and the way he's leading the team from the front speaks volumes about the kind of player that he is. We have always seen that kind of responsible innings coming in from Ruturaj, but I think in this particular tournament, he's just taking this another notch higher. Remember a lot of great knocks from the past, especially from the last game where he showed so much of maturity to, I remember the point where he was probably at playing at the 44th ball without a sixer and then still hitting at 180 strike rate. Speaks incredible volumes about the batter that he is.
Isha, your thoughts on what Rishi just said, and I believe Soumi also aligned with him on Ruturaj getting close to MS Dhoni in terms of his attitude.
Definitely, the calm and the composure that MSD has, it is definitely reflecting on Ruturaj. So his gameplay has been really good over the years. And this year, this was the second time, if I'm not wrong, that he has gotten close to 100 versus SRH, and we have lost the match. So Ruturaj definitely is playing an innings worth watching. And yes, answering your question, the reflection of MSD is there on it.
Rishi, for the last few seasons, it was almost like, there was a writing on the wall that Ruturaj Gaikwad will take over once MS Dhoni decides to give up the role. Of course, in the middle, there was Ravindra Jadeja. He's also captain Chennai Super Kings. But the way, they soft launched Ruturaj this season, how would you describe that launch of Ruturaj Gaikwad and Chennai Super Kings allowing him the time to get into the role that is expected of him to play?
I mean, what happened in 2022 with Jadeja, I think, all of a sudden Jadeja was given that responsibility and there was too much of a pressure, having someone like MS Dhoni lead Chennai Super Kings for so many years and then Jadeja come in. I think it was too much. And then what the team management realized is that they probably have to, get Gaikwad ready a few months before the IPL season starts. So I think the internal discussion had already taken place before the season started. So Gaikwad somewhere in his mind was aware that, okay, I have to lead this team with MS Dhoni being there. So clearly, that's when someone's mentally prepared to do that. I think that has shown in his captaincy and is now starting to reflect in his batting as well.
Once again, have a look at the points table. Chennai placed in the third position on the league table. Soumi, now coming to you, when the season began for them, it seemed that they were slow starters. But once again, Chennai back to doing Chennai things. And we see now them having a healthy net run rate, not just, being there, but in terms of run rate, they're just behind Kolkata Knight Riders.
Exactly. And, that's the beauty of Chennai, how they bounce back. We were getting a little bit worried by Chennai losing the momentum somewhere in the middle of the tournament. And then, of course, losing a few away games. And then, of course, the last game that they won in Chepauk were a little bit of a concerning signs, but the way they have been bouncing back all through the years, not just in this one, I think that's incredible of Chennai, and everything just comes together to the composure and the calmness of the unit there. They never seem to be absolutely out in a panic zone, and they somehow bring back the entire momentum just when they are reaching that peak stage. I think that's what is again happening this particular year with Chennai, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up being in that top 2 spot over the next few
Okay, let's